Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Two boys in Fort Worth recovering after getting struck by lightning.
A Mississippi escapee in a Houston court this morning.
And the latest in the Luther Hotel update with 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel.
Well, we had a lot of stormy weather roll through the area, a solid line all the way from Houston to Laredo. And of course, it came right through the crossroads. The good news, a lot of that stuff is just moving offshore. If you're worried about thunder and lightning, well, you've got to be right along the coast because even in DeWitt County, things are clearing up. By morning, we're going to get a dry north wind that's going to dry us out and give us a lot of sunshine. So this is pretty much over with, and we'll have all the latest details coming up in a moment.
And the Victoria East Titans took one on the nose last night. We'll see if they can bounce back tonight. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
This is an alert day. Severe thunderstorm watches all over the crossroads. We've been rocking and rolling with thunder and lightning tonight. So let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. And Mac, things have seemed to quiet down just a bit.
Yeah, after that
bit.
thunder and lightning that we had, you know, this line began up in central Texas today. And as it came through, it produced all kinds of hail and lightning and thunder and heavy rain. 60-mile-an-hour winds reported all over the state. Now, what you see here, obviously, is the thunder out there and rolling through. But we are looking at all of this stuff to actually move offshore within the hour. As you can see right about there, the heaviest stuff now moving offshore. The rain now exiting Victoria County. It stopped raining in Cuero. Well, let's see, in Lavaca, Cuero, and all the way down into Karnes City, we got about marble-sized hail. Some areas in Lavaca County came in with quarter-size hail. So there was hail around the area. Hopefully you didn't get any damage. I'll have the outlook for the weekend coming up, and it's looking a whole lot better now that this system is about over with. So stay tuned. We'll have your 7-day forecast coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
Mike, thanks, and thanks to our great friend Emily in Cuero for that video of hail tonight.
That's right. Thank you, Don. And now we move on as two brothers are recovering after surviving a lightning strike. A children's medical center says 7-year-old Isaac Martinez and 13-year-old Jaden Alivardo were playing outside their home Wednesday when lightning struck the tree above them. The lightning bounced and struck Jaden, causing cardiac arrest, and then bounced off to Isaac. Both boys lost consciousness and collapsed. By Thursday, they were doing much better. Doctors advise parents to keep their children indoors when there is a severe weather threat.
A woman hit by a vehicle in a parking lot near 5301 North Navarro around 5 p.m. Friday. Victoria Police and the Victoria Fire Department on the scene, and the woman transported to a local hospital. A VPD officer on the scene said the woman was hit by a car in the parking lot but had minor injuries. No one will be arrested since a crime was not committed.
A fugitive who escaped from a Mississippi jail now captured in Texas, Jerry Rains, appeared before a judge today after he was arrested Thursday at a hospital in Houston. Rains, along with 3 other inmates, escaped from the Hinds County Jail by climbing through a hole in the jail's roof. 2 other inmates are still at large.
4 suspects arrested in connection to an after-prom party shooting that left 11 teens wounded in Jasper Sunday. Investigators said a search warrant was executed at a residence near a local high school for evidence. 4 arrest warrants were issued. The 4 young men, all ages 18 and 19, are in custody and were charged with first and second-degree felonies. They were reportedly involved in the shooting at the party as well as a second shooting incident about an hour later. 1 person is dead after a shooting in Seadrift Wednesday. The Port Lavaca Wave reports the body of 61-year-old Mary Vervin found Wednesday night. First reports from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office say Vervin died by gunshot wounds. The body taken to the Travis County Medical Examiner's office for an autopsy. No details about the suspect released. There is a homicide investigation going on. The Texas Tribune reports how the Texas Juvenile Justice Department wants to start sending some of its most disruptive and violent detainees into the adult prison system due to a depleted workforce.
That's right. This is going to bring us to your viewer poll tonight. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote live right now. The question for tonight is, Would sending minors to adult prisons alleviate staffing shortages, yes or no? We take a look at these results and 12% say yes and 88% say no. Thank you for voting. Remember, visit us tomorrow for our latest viewer poll.
The U.S. border city of Brownsville declared a state of emergency following a huge influx of migrants. Border Patrol officials say Venezuelan nationals make up the majority of those currently entering the country illegally. The public pandemic health rule called Title 42 still in place, which means U.S. immigration agents intend to swiftly return illegal migrants across the border into Mexico.
I want to say the first 2 weeks of April, we were averaging about maybe 1,700 Venezuelan nationals entering illegally into the country through that particular area of Brownsville. And then 2 weeks later, towards the end, here the last 8 days, we saw an uptick of over 15,000 Venezuelans.
But Venezuelans aren't the only ones. The Border Patrol chief for the Rio Grande said so far this year, agents have come in contact with migrants from 72 nationalities, including Chinese. Title 42 scheduled to end on May 11th.
The Luther Hotel had an inspection this week.
25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel spoke with the co-chair of the Palacios Preservation Association on how that inspection went and has more. Adam?
That's right, Don and Karina. So that inspection was ordered by the judge overseeing the ongoing case of the Luther Hotel and its fate, ordering for that inspection, which was earlier this week on Tuesday. The inspection included a team of experts from historical architects, engineers, a group of preservationists, and the head of the investment team, Nick Herman, so he could see what he put a bid on. Margaret Dowdy is the co-chair of the Palacios Preservation Association and says they are now waiting on those expert witness reports from that inspection, something that could impact the decision to keep the Luther Hotel standing.
We're not allowed to talk about it for the time being because we're waiting for those expert witness reports to be produced and shared with all of the various players and, of course, with the judge. As people came out, I think nobody will mind my saying this, there was a sense of optimism. And that was very, very good to hear.
Former employees of the Luther were also able to tour the inside of the hotel. Margaret says those expert reports should be released in the next few days, possibly by next week, and that she also wanted to shine a light on the support they've received from here in the Victoria community, saying lawyers from the Crossroads have been helping with the case pro bono, and she also encourages anyone who wants to save the Luther to sign the online petition. You can find that over on our website, crossroadstoday.com, and Margaret also adding that there will be depositions to be heard in the coming weeks ahead of the next hearing, which is on June 22nd. Don, Karina, back to you.
Adam, thank you. Early voting in Victoria for the May 6th election continues. The numbers from the Victoria County Election Administrator look like this. 289 people voted in person early Friday, 1,526 in-person votes so far. 6 mail-in votes received Friday, a total of 78 mail-in votes so far.
Early voting for the May 6th election at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A, running through May 2nd, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Now, an art boat continues to stand in Seadrift. It's closed most of the year, though.
But 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick got a chance to get a first look at the art boat's homemade exhibit.
We recently took a trip to a town on the Gulf Coast of Texas, Seadrift. When driving through the city lines, a boat stands on the land across the street from the water. You know something's off with this situation as soon as you hear that part. The boat reads Studio Dieter Edhard. Dieter Edhard is a German artist with pieces showcased around the world. However, he clears his schedule once or twice a year to stop in Seadrift, where he built a 30-foot tall art boat.
That I found a steel hull, I bought the property for it, and there was no construction codes. The mayor was nice, he said, just go for it, do it. And here I am, 25 years later, I guess I did it. There it is, your personal dream, and there's my art project.
People doubted his choice of Seadrift. They felt Edhard could be anywhere in the world since his work made him an international success.
I just thought this is a charming town. I like fish, I like water, I like sun, I like the warmth, not the heat, but I fell in love with this town, even though people said, no, this is, bad, it's not good. Hey, they haven't seen the world. I did.
Now, the boat hosts a special art show using plexiglass as art. Before we show you, you have to see these wonderful selfies, of course. Okay, now enough of that. Ed Hart worked for years to bring this idea to life. He worked on a mural in 1993 that used the same theme and inspired this art boat.
This is my mural in the Nuremberg subway, in my actual way. There it is. The ocean inside a boat that has never been in the water. Water is my theme, fish is my theme. Now you look up there, there's the water and there's the underwater.
Most of Ed Hart's work stands in Guatemala and Germany, where he lives. When he's down in Seadrift, he offers art workshops. The workshop introduced him to so many people from around the world.
We had people here from Canada, from Germany, from Mexico, Guatemala. So they come as an invited guest. I provide, the food, the stay and materials, and then they have fun. They get to know Texas and build one sculpture to be left on the premises or for the city of Seadrift.
All of the sculptures on the property are made by his students of the workshop. Ed Hart will always love Seadrift and the art boat, but he says this may be his last exhibit.
This show is going to be, from my point of view now, permanent. So if you see me on the premises, you might come up and say, hey, can we go in and see the show? I might just simply say yes while I'm here. But I don't really want to change it.
Ed Hart says it's been years of work. He does not know if his mind will change in the future, but for now, Ed Hart wants this exhibit to be his last show. You can see the homemade show in Seadrift on April 29th and 30th. Want to show off something homemade? Email us at homemade@victoriatelevision.com.
Darius, thank you. The Texas House on Friday gave early approval to a bill that would give retired teachers a small bump in their monthly retirement checks. The Texas Tribune reports the bill calls for up to a 6% increase to retirees' monthly checks. The bill calls for a $5,000 one-time payment to retirees age 70 or older. The bill will need one more vote in the House before it goes to the full legislature. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10, the U.S. Army orders aviation safety units to stand down following 2 deadly helicopter crashes.
Also ahead, Ed Sheeran played the guitar on the stand yesterday to demonstrate to the jury in his copyright trial. Coming up on Community Crossroads this weekend, we sit down with K-9 Officer Eros to talk about his retirement. Then we interview Victoria native Carson Patterson, who tells us his inspiring story about how he was able to turn his life around. And then we sit with Dr. Gary Brefman to talk about anti-Semitism. All this and more this weekend.
Is that anything that's specifically targeting a Jewish person because he's Jewish? His culture, his history is anti-Semitism.
This week's Lean On Me $500 giveaway is brought to you by Victory Kia. Our drive is to help the community thrive.
I'm Troy York, the General Manager of Victory Kia, and the winner of our Lean On Me gift today is Omar Posada. Omar, how are you going to use this $500?
Well, I'm going to use it to spend on medical bills because these medical bills and trips are expensive to Houston, so it'll help my mom pay for gas and food and stuff like that.
That's great. Make sure you visit Victory Kia or Victory GMC today and nominate somebody for Lean On Me.
You or someone you know could be our next $500 winner. Go to Victory Kia or Victory GMC to drop off your entry in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more info or to enter online.
Shop naked and save at the Homestead. You can take it home and stain it tonight.
What in tarnation? The Homestead's gone rustic. Mosey on over and check out the store today.
The savings keep adding up for Fred Loya customers. In recent months, people who switched from Geico, Allstate, and Progressive to Fred Loya Insurance saved over $1,700 a year. State Farm customers saved over $1,300 a year. Include the savings of Fred Loya customers from multiple states, and that's a combined savings of over $1.1 million a year. Start paying less for your car insurance. Call or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save.
Hi, I'm Charlie Garcia. And I'm Rico Garcia. And we are USA Concrete Coatings. If you're ready to upgrade your business, restaurant, garage, man cave, or porch, then you're ready for USA Concrete Coatings. We'll have your floors looking flawless with our exclusive USA Concrete Coatings products. We'll ensure that your concrete coating is strong and durable. It's antimicrobial and comes with a lifetime warranty. USA Concrete Coatings, from concrete to custom in just one day.
The U.S. Army has grounded aviation units for training after deadly helicopter crashes in Alaska and Kentucky killed 12 in the past month. A U.S. Army team from Alabama is heading to the Alaska interior to investigate the mid-air collision between two AH-64 Apache helicopters. 3 soldiers killed and a 4th hurt Thursday. There's still little information about the crash. Thursday's deadly crash follows a crash last month in Kentucky, which killed 9.
A gun in a student's backpack went off in a classroom at a high school in Knoxville, Tennessee today, grazing a teacher. Knoxville police say the discharge of the weapon was not intentional. Police say the student was charged with reckless endangerment, reckless aggravated assault, and possession of a weapon on school grounds. The Knox County School Superintendent didn't identify the teacher who was grazed, but talked about what the teacher said about this incident.
You know, just to show again the heart of our educators and the heart of this individual, just to say, you know, I don't want to be recognized. I took care of my kids today. I love my kids, and I'll be back on Monday. I think that says a lot. So in good shape, obviously, you know, was here, was able to attend the staff meeting, those sorts of things.
The superintendent said extra mental health support for students and staff was brought in today and will also be available on Monday. Experts claim that practicing yoga along with aerobic exercise may modestly help lower high blood pressure.
According to the CDC, high blood pressure affects nearly 1 in 3 Americans. High blood pressure makes the heart work harder to pump blood to the rest of the body, which can lead to headaches, anxiety, shortness of breath, or chest palpitations. In the long term, high blood pressure also leads to a number of changes in the heart that increase the overall risk of heart attack, heart failure, and sudden cardiac death. Yoga is an ancient mind and body practice that involves physical poses, concentration, and focused breathing. Researchers from Harvard University have found that when 15 minutes of yoga was practiced after 30 minutes of aerobic exercise for 5 days a week, research participants had improved resting blood pressure and heart rate. This significantly reduced their 10-year risk for a heart attack or stroke. Yoga is well known for its calming effect. The practice may also help reduce cortisol, a stress hormone that has been shown to increase blood pressure. When practiced regularly, yoga can promote heart health, strength, flexibility, and overall well-being. With this Medical Minute, I'm Lindsay Watts, ABC News.
Ed Sheeran played the guitar on the stand yesterday to demonstrate in his copyright trial how he writes music. He played his guitar to demonstrate his version of phonetics to quickly create songs during testimony. Sheeran also said he collaborated on the song with a co-writer. The family of Ed Townsend is suing the singer. They claim he lifted the melody, chord progression, harmonies, and rhythm from Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On, co-written by Townsend for Ed Sheeran's song Thinking Out Loud.
Now, a tornado touched down west of Tallahassee, Florida yesterday, causing extensive damage. This drone video shows the extent of the damage to homes and trees in the area where the storm struck. Authorities have confirmed the damage was caused by a tornado touching down. Some homes had their roofs completely ripped off and multiple trees were snapped in half, but no one was reported hurt or dead.
Well, folks, we obviously had a lot of activity rolling through. The good news is it's all moving offshore even as we speak. So it's going to be clearing up. In fact, I checked at the airport in San Antonio. The winds are out of the northwest at 30 miles an hour. Cool, dry air will be here by sunrise, and your Saturday is saved. I'll have more of your forecast coming up in a moment.
Hey, May. We've got Joshua Jackson with us. Give it up.
This is therapy,
This
right?
is therapy. Welcome to my couch. Pierce Brosnan, Elle King, the marvelous stars of Mrs. Maisel. So did any of you know each other before this show?
We met on Mad TV, and I was a massive fan of his, and I had a little secret crush on him.
Wasn't that big a secret. She would hang out.
Access to safe blood could help prevent up to 1/4 of maternal deaths each year. Make sure we have enough supply, because when you give, we live. Donate blood and save a life. Go to yougivetheylivE.org to schedule.
Opening April 21st, the Nave presents the diverse works of Ernesto Leon, an artist with over 40 years of professional experience. Dedicated to painting and sculpture, his works are influenced by history, the art of Jackson Pollock, and the work of Italo-Argentinian artist Lucio Fontana. His sculptures deal with sunlight, construction, and the organization of geometric elements as a way of approaching space, while his paintings are saturated with colors. Closing June 11th, this is an exhibit not to be missed.
Are you a new AT&T customer looking to upgrade your phone? You're trapped, locked into your contract for 3 years. And your phone is locked into their network too. No 2-year upgrade for you, Jonathan. But T-Mobile has a way out. Introducing the Easy Unlock. Bring your AT&T locked phone and T-Mobile will pay it off and give you one of the latest 5G smartphones free. Plus, next time you're ready for an upgrade a year earlier. You're free now, little one. So are you. Just so we're clear, I did trip on purpose for comedy.
Free your phone now at T-Mobile.
Hey everybody, obviously a busy night, and hopefully everybody got the message. This was filmed or videotaped just an hour ago, not even, and that's the way the rain was coming down in the downtown area. But the whole idea is that we warn people, let them know that it's coming, they take shelter, and everybody's safe. That's the whole idea of the thunder, the lightning, and the hail that came through. A lot of activity there for about an hour, and then it settled down. Right now it's 64 degrees. Our winds are west slowly, but that's important because that means that the front has passed through. So the front passes through. The storms are now moving toward the coastal area, as you can see right about here. There's Victoria. There's everything just beginning to pull offshore. So right about now, Seadrift and Port O'Connor are getting the heaviest activity. A little bit of rain up in the Houston area right about there, but even that will be bugging out pretty quickly. You can see that the cloud deck is still behind it all the way back to San Antonio, but with that dry air already coming out of the west, that is going to clear up very rapidly. So one more look as we close in. All the watches and warnings have been canceled. That's good stuff. So no major concerns. I mean, thanks to Bill in the Riverside, we got 7/800ths of an inch of rain out on Riverside at the park. And now, as you can see, these are the finally remaining watches and warnings. These are watches and, of course, small craft advisories out for the waters out there. But by and large, things are clearing up. And by sunrise, you're going to say, didn't it rain last night? Because it's going to be so different. So the reason is the front trigger. Remember, the frontal system is kind of like a bulldozer. It's heavy, cold air, and it's pushing along, and it's lifting the air ahead of it. That's why we got the rise to create these storms. Now, there you go. At midnight, everything should be offshore. And then by sunrise, definitely that cool, dry air will be in our area, so things will be clearing up very nicely. And your Sunday is going to be spectacular if you have outdoor plans. Just gorgeous. The winds will be gusty on Saturday, but by Sunday, they'll calm down, and by Monday, they'll actually come back from the Gulf. There's a little front up there, but that one's not going to do anything in terms of like this last one. So things, again, are looking up as far as we're concerned. Here's a future tracker. We start at 10 p.m. You see by midnight, it'll be out offshore. We go to 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and most of the activity has left the building. We're going to be looking at the cloud cover also clearing up fairly rapidly behind it. So again, everybody's going to sleep, or mostly everybody. But by sunrise, we'll get that west wind, northwest wind, and that's going to be a dry wind. The irony of it all is that we're going to replace all this moisture and thunder and all that with some dry West Texas air that's blowing down. It might have a little dust in it. You know how you know? When you're in the morning, you see your windshield and it looks like mud. So it's rain and then dust on top of it. So you'll watch out for that. So how much rain did we get? Well, basically about a half an inch to almost 3/4 of an inch. But beyond that, things are going to clear up. And here is a look at your 7-day forecast. Well, the front is past. The clouds are clearing. I had an alert day for the morning hours, but you can forget about that. We're looking sunshine for tomorrow with the west wind really on the breezy side up to about 25 miles an hour. Sunday looking like the best. I mean, you want to take a picture of Sunday, it's going to be good. Monday, Tuesday still on the good side. Then the humidity rolls back in to the crossroads by the time we get there early next week. At this point in time, there's a slight chance for rain next Friday, which is Cinco de Mayo. And and Thursday is May the 4th be with you. Well, anyway, y'all have a great weekend. That's our 7-day forecast. I want to remind everybody we have a QR code that we want you to scan, and then you can put Crossroads Today on your phone and take us wherever you need to go, and I'll send you tweets and Twitters and all that stuff. From now, that's the end of weather, and we'll toss it over to Gino.
You forgot that Saturday is Revenge of the Sith, or Fifth, that is. But anyways, the Cuero softball team took care of business by hitting the ball out of the park multiple times. That and more after the break.
Victory Kia and Victory GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory GMC. Tune in on Sundays at 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on KAVU Channel 25, Suddenlink Channel 4 to view Our Lady of Victory weekly service.
Are you ready to stop letting big business take your customers away? Phase 3 Digital is your #1 digital marketing resource to keep your customers shopping with you. With an office right here in the Crossroads and a team of support across the nation, we can help you wherever your business is in the online journey. From building a site to developing e-commerce capabilities to growing your customer base, we will drive results. It is time to take the next step in growing your business with Phase 3 Digital. Are you ready to take your customers back? Give us a call or visit us online to get started.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
Patty Crossroads, the East Titans look to bounce back after falling to Carroll yesterday to try to keep the series alive. The Carroll Tigers got in scoring position with a little help from the Titan defense, and they would get bases loaded. The Tigers would go ahead and get on board with a walk. The score would be 1-0, Carroll taking the lead. Things would go quiet for both teams until the final inning of play when the Tigers smacked one up the middle to bring home the second run of the game, and it looked like this was going to be the nail in the coffin, but the Titans said, wait 1 second. Hunter Bottles came to the plate, hits a line drive to center field to get a double and put the game-winning run at the plate and runners in scoring position. He even does a little dance on second base. The 2 runs would score off a base hit by Grayson Youngblood, but the game winner would be hit by Mason Sockwell as he goes in, sliding into home to get the win, 3-2. Carroll and East will play tomorrow in Corpus at Cabinets Field for Game 3. Game time is at 3 o'clock. Now let's jump over to softball. The Lady Gobblers played played in a one-game series last night against Bandera, and to start the Gobblers off in the first inning, Ballin hits a homer to make it 1-0 after just the second pitch of the game. Now Camden Lange up to the plate, hits a 3-run bomb, and she makes a record of home runs by a Lady Gobbler, hitting her 22nd homer in her career in the bottom of the third. But in the fourth inning, Bromillie Watson steps up to bat with bases juiced and hits a grand slam, her second homer of the year, to give Cuero a commanding lead. Then to put the icing on the cake, Lange again hits a 3-run shot to end the game on a run roll in the bottom of the fifth inning. Cuero moves on to the area round after winning 15-5. The Ganado Maidens took care of business last night. Let's check out those highlights from the bi-district round. Pitching for the Maidens is Macy Kolokny. She was on fire throughout, only allowing 1 run in the bottom of the first half inning. She not only struck out 10+ batters in the contest, but she also defended her position as well. The Maidens' small ball approach by Bella Adrian brought in a couple of runs with a bunt. And watch this, shout out to Maddie Wimpy for trying to give a high five to the umpire right there. I don't think that's what he was going for, but still pretty funny. Faith Palacios decided to keep the momentum going as she belts one to the left field, and it one-hops the wall, and she would go into second with an easy double. But the biggest hit of the day came with the pitcher Kolokny blast one over the left field wall for a grand slam. She was greeted by her team, who was ecstatic, of course. Final score 12-1. The Maidens are moving on to the area round of playoffs. Also, Industrial, the Cobras took care of business in the bi-district round of playoffs in Game 2. In Game 1, Industrial won by 10, 13-3. In Game 2, the game went about the same as the first one, winning by a score of 10-0. Industrial will travel to Floresville to play Natalia in Game 1. In a one-game series, Thursday, May 4th at 6. Industrial will be the home team. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Gina. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk show was canceled.
Have a legal question that you don't have the answer to? Crossroads Law is here to help. The esteemed lawyers of the Cole, Easley & Skiba law firm are here to answer them. Submit your questions to crossroadstoday.com. This is a free service where you can find practical answers about real-life situations you might have encountered. Crossroads Law is a service of the Victoria Television Group and the law firm of Cole, Easley & Skiba, advocates of trial by jury.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
USA Foundation Repair, in conjunction with 25 News Now, brings you our Pledge of Allegiance every weekday morning. It's your time to reflect and celebrate our greatness as a country, to be a patriot, and to give thanks for living in the best country in the world. And it all began when you recite our pledge. Brought to you by USA Foundation Repair and 25 News Now.
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pope Francis wrapped up the first day of his visit to Budapest, Hungary with a visit to St. Stephen's Basilica. The Pope addressed the clergy at a ceremony inside the church. He warned of the rise of nationalism across Europe. He then went outside and blessed the crowd who came to show support.
The Facebook Watch original show Red Table Talk by Jada Pinkett Smith is canceled. It comes as Meta pivots away from producing original programming. Pinkett Smith co-hosted the popular talk show host along with her daughter and mother. The show featured them hosting conversations with celebrities, experts, and public figures. They talked about women empowerment and social justice issues on that show.
And we've been talking about weather all night.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a long day in the weather office. Folks, the good news is the stormy weather is moving offshore. Later tonight, maybe by 2, 3 in the morning, a strong west wind will kick in, and that's going to dry things up. Tomorrow, abundant sunshine, only 73 is a high temperature, and your Sunday is going to be spectacular. Tomorrow is a little windy. That's about the only problem you'll have to concern with. So just drive safely tonight. Watch out for the puddles, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mac. All right, and finally tonight, the 2023 New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival officially began today with several acts slated to perform. Some of the top headliners include The Dead and Company, Ed Sheeran, Lizzo, former Houston Cougar. Mumford and Sons, the Lumineers, Santana, and the Steve Miller Band. Tens of thousands of people expected to head downtown to the fairgrounds over the next 2 weekends to sample not just the music, but the amazing food that comes with it. Willie Nelson not there. He's performing tomorrow night at the Hollywood Bowl on his 90th birthday.
All
Wow.
right.
Happy birthday to him. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Drive safe out there because it is pretty heavy.
A little soggy.
Little soggy.
And join Adam for the weekend. All right, good night. Have a great weekend.